from Undercity Comics. This is issue 248. My name is Nick Valero.
Rene.
I'm Sean.
And welcome to the show, everybody. Woo! Sean, Bryan's gone.
Again.
Yeah. Again. How dare he?
No.
Oh, he's taking care of his child.
No.
How dare he?
How dare
Yeah.
He has 3 children over here to take care of.
I know.
We're a
That's
mess. He saw that. He saw last episode. It was a mess. Last episode was terrifying.
That was.
I watched halfway
How'd
through.
you guys like it?
I watched half of it and I went, I think I'm on drugs.
Yeah.
I think
I'm done.
It's okay. You got excited. You're like a little wound up toy.
I am a little wound up. I'm a little wind up toy. You can just wind me up.
A little Energizer bunny from hell.
Yes. Which I have started taking edibles to solve that, and they're kind of working.
Nice.
They put me to sleep.
Hey.
Mainly THC
Good night
or
rest.
CBD.
THC.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm feeling. I feel pretty good most days.
Feeling irie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It feels great. I've never really been like super into like THC or anything like that. It's been pretty fun. It's been pretty wild.
What was the most 90 things to say when just to describe how high? Oh, feeling crispy.
Crispy. I remember when I remember being right out of high school, and I did a 420 with a bunch of friends of mine. As we were doing 420, we all fell asleep because we were there from like 9 a.m. all the way until like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, God.
Just like, and that was like our only thing that we were doing. Like we were just watching TV and doing that.
Yeah.
And we all fell asleep on his like little pull-out couch. And then one of my buddies like wakes up and he's like, "Whoa!" And I'm like, and I woke up too, and I'm like, "Did you have that dream too?" And then he goes, "The one with the unicorn." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "Bro, that was wild."
Oh my God.
And we couldn't articulate to everybody else. Like we were like trying to explain because everybody went, "What are you guys talking about?" It's like, "Bro, I think we just both had the same dream."
It was all a dream.
And we were like so invested, and they were like, "Well, explain the dream." And we were like, "You had to experience it with us."
You soulbound.
Yeah.
Dirty slut dragon.
Dirty slut dragon, you soulbound with somebody else. Oh man, it was pretty funny. It was really, really fun. I don't think I've ever been that high.
Take a dab.
Like from then to now, I've never been that messed up. And that was like weird because we were making a buddy of mine was rolling them, and he was rolling them and then calling them Greek, like Egyptian, like Greek gods. Like he was like, "All right, cool. So this is the Aries, because what's in it will make us all argue."
Yeah.
This is Jill. This is my lady Amy. Little Susie. Brianna.
And then he was just going down the list, and then he finally got to like just this massive one he had rolled, and he was like, "This is Kronos.
Oh my God.
It's the creator of all." Mind you, he was getting higher and higher.
Yeah.
As he was rolling them, and we were like, "Oh, dude, like,
Whoa.
hey."
Calm down.
I want to be that guy.
Right?
Dang. Stony baloney.
It was so funny when I remember when we did it. We were like, "How much money do we need to give you to go to the?" Because I was right when dispensaries first started kind of going out.
You need your rec.
And
You
you
need,
need-
you need
yeah,
that
you-
rec, and he was the guy that had the rec. And so we went, "All right, man, how much do you think you need?" And he was like, "I don't know, man, however much you guys want to send." We all sent him like $75 a piece. And then he was like, "I didn't think you could give me too much money." And we were like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "I got everything that we needed for tonight, and I still had change." I was like, "How much did we send you?" And he goes, "There's 12 of us. You all sent me $75. He goes, "We don't need that much." I'm like,
I said someone sent me $75.
"Not everyone."
It must have looked so sketchy with all this cash in hand.
He was just like,
all of
"What?
your drugs now, please."
Please give me my drugs." But yeah,
Whatever
so-
that gets me.
Yeah, whatever this gets me. Hold on, I've been there. Where you just like too much to like you couldn't even count it, and you were just like, "How much does this get me?" And then they go, "You just gave me $3,000."
Well, how much does
How much
that
did it
get
give me?
Yeah.
Dude, it could have been $2. I would have been like, I don't know.
Mhm.
Oh man, that was fun.
Mhm.
That was a good times. Good
Good
times. Good
times.
times. Let's get into the spot, where to find us and everything else. All the socials. I think
Mhm.
that's important, right? We're what, 10 minutes in? 7?
Fine.
Oh, actually, we're only like 5,
Oh,
6 minutes in.
wow.
I don't know why I thought
We're
that
doing
story
great
was a lot
time.
longer.
It
Yeah,
felt long.
yeah. We really should smoke.
It felt long.
Yeah, we really should do things before we start podcasts because they feel a lot longer.
But we're testing out
Yeah.
a future episode.
Yeah, we're testing things out. So anyway, you guys can catch us on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe, follow at YouTube / Keeping Up with the Nerds. Go to our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. That's where you can find all the information for our last podcast, all of our information. You can find some of the videos from Art Fest that are also up there as well. Make sure to go to our YouTube and watch and share and everything else on the Art Fest videos. We just uploaded a reaction video. Let us know how that one is going to be, how you guys like that. Should we do more of those? Also, if you are an audio listener, go ahead and go to our Podbean, Apple Music, and also YouTube Music. You can go ahead and listen to us there. Make sure to hit like, subscribe on Podbean, Apple Music, everything else. Show them the love. Show them how much love that we have, that you guys give us there. It really does a lot for us and everything else. Make sure to go to our Instagram. We do have a Facebook, but we don't really, we post on it whenever
we have it.
It's
have
there.
it exists.
Yeah.
And it's still there.
But if you need to go ahead and get a hold of us for anything, whether it be like something that you guys want to talk about, anything else, hit us up on our Instagram. We are always down to talk about some kind of topic. So if you guys actually want to help us write comic strips, I think that'd be great. Especially if there's a specific topic that you guys want to talk
A fan
about.
episode?
Dude, a fan episode of just
would be
them
awesome.
of us talking about things that fans did.
First episode for year 5?
I think that would be fun.
Yeah, we
I think
could.
that'd be kind of fun.
All right, we'll put that in the burner right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of how exactly that could work out, because then we're all in the dark.
Well, Bryan
Yeah.
just found out about this right now.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. You're gonna find out 2 days before you come into the shop, going like, "Hey guys, what are we doing?" But yeah, so go ahead, hit subscribe, share everything, and we're also on YouTube Shorts now. We're gonna be probably going into Instagram Reels and TikToks very soon. So yeah, that's those are our socials. That's where you can find us. Did I miss anything?
No.
No, I did a lot better this time.
You did?
I did do a lot better this time.
Good
We
job.
say yes,
you.
but then Brian's gonna say
I
in
know.
the chat.
He's gonna be like,
"Oh, you guys
Well, it
missed
went on a
one
little
thing."
long. You blinked too much. The blinking threw me off. I forgot. You blinked way too much.
I can't control my blinking. Sorry.
Especially in the mind state.
Also, for some reason, when you said "don't blink," it made me want to blink.
yeah.
When did it tell you not to blink?
Well, when you're like, "Oh, you blink too much," I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, now I have to blink." Like, now I just have to
stop
blink too
blinking.
much. Now I just, oh God,
And that's how we
make it
find
stop.
if you are.
Yeah.
What is it? Say elephant.
Congratulations, you have a very weak mind.
There you go. Thank you.
It's a good one. How was your guys' week, man? How was it? Did you guys enjoy your weeks?
It's not too bad. This weekend, upon recording, me and Mandy are going to go to Comic-Con Revolution in
Nice.
Ontario.
Oh,
So we're going to
dang.
go on Sunday, yeah.
Dope.
I already
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, we got our tickets. I already got a ticket to go get an autograph of someone.
Who'd you get?
Nolan North. I'm going to have him sign my copy of Uncharted 2.
Let's be sick.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's be sick.
Dope.
Yeah. I'm really excited.
Would you ever have Nolan North do? Because he did Deadpool, didn't he?
Yeah.
Would you ever have him sign like a Deadpool thing, or would you only restrict that to like Ryan Reynolds or somebody?
I would I would do it of a movie that he did. So like Hulk versus.
Okay.
I would have him sign my copy. I do have a DVD copy of that as well too.
Take it.
No, but Uncharted's more
Yeah.
dear to my heart. Yeah.
It's true. That is true.
Mhm.
I feel like also those the disc cases for video games, they hold up better than DVDs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I think
Yeah.
which one is it? It's Uncharted. You said Uncharted 2?
Yeah. The PlayStation 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang, dude, that's wild.
I know.
Nolan
Dang.
North though, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Comic Revolution got a good lineup
Oh
this
yeah.
year.
They're having a
Yeah.
whole like Smallville reunion. over
That's
there.
sick.
Yeah. But I was looking at those like autographs and pictures, like Tom Welling. I mean, granted, it's Tom Welling, but he's charging like $200.
What?
Wait,
Yeah,
excuse
for
me,
like-
how much?
He's charging like $200 for like either an autograph or a picture.
Dude, when I got a
Oh,
picture
heavens.
when I got a picture with Michael Rooker,
Mm-hmm.
it was only $50, and he gave me a picture and a signature.
Comic Con Revolution.
Yeah.
Oh, but you can put Ontario as well too.
Dude, that's wild. For $50, I got a
That's pretty
picture
good.
and a signature from him
That's
for $50
really cool.
with Michael
Yeah.
Rooker.
Yeah, Nolan North is only doing. You could do 60 for a picture or 60 for an autograph.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. I was like, it's 60. I mean, I would have been happy with 50, but 60's not bad. I'm having him sign something that's a franchise that's been near and dear to my heart and like my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, I think Nolan North is North is a lot of people's Kevin Conroy in a way.
Yeah.
Of like he's voiced everything.
Oh yeah.
That they've kind of like love.
He voiced like 80% of like the Batman Arkham series.
If you want to do a solid for your boss, I suggest you take that poster with you because the illustrator of said poster is gonna be there.
Oh, that's right.
That'd be sick.
That'd be cool.
Renee, I love you. A free week pay. You're
No,
off.
Won't be that grateful, but I'll be happy.
That's sick, Renee. Now I can
Kiss you on
sell
the
it.
forehead.
Right now I can sell it. This is gonna be worth more on eBay. Gonna make so much money.
Money, money, money.
Now I just need him to die.
What?
Whoa.
Who said death? Yeah.
Who said anything
Him.
about
Who said
Who said anything about death?
Yeah.
That's when you find out that they're setting up assassinations.
Right. It's like, I probably might have to delete some footage from the store. He's like,
Yeah. You know what? I was watching it and I thought it actually did get me really irritated. Speaking of like signing stuff,
yeah.
I was watching a video of Tom Hardy because Tom Hardy's on the kind of like on the networks right now.
Yeah.
He's promoting a new movie that's coming out, and there's so many people that are around him that are trying to get photos and get him to sign stuff. So somebody actually took a video of him signing things, and he was trying to sign everything. And then one of the guys was like, "Hey, can I get a photo with you?" And then he even points it out, and he goes, "I got a photo with you yesterday." And then he goes, yeah, man, but you're like my favorite actor, so I want to get another photo with you. And like he was like, you can kind of see like he's like already a little irritated.
Yeah.
Because not only that, but also people had covered what they were having him sign. It was just boxes of like sign in this area, and he was trying to like skip over it. And like they kept pushing it in front of him, and he signed like 2 of them. He was like, "You have too much stuff to sign. I'm not gonna sign it."
Yeah.
And everything. I just thought it was so
That sounds
weird.
like a reseller right there.
Yeah. Actors have caught on to that people that come up to them are just sellers. So
I
that's
would
why-
never sell.
Yeah, but that's the worst thing though, is that, especially when an actor is that cool and is like willing to sign.
Yeah.
Because there's some actors that just blow you off and they just keep
Yeah,
walking.
they won't sign anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's because of some of these people that have like they'll sign something and they'll sign it and give it to a kid
Yeah.
because they know, oh, this kid isn't going to sell it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a lot that actually happens at baseball stadiums often, where the players or the basketball players will throw the jersey to the kid. The intention is to the kid. The kid is going to catch it, and then an adult from behind with their gangly arms snatches it.
Yeah, like right.
And they're
when they
cheering
got
that they got it. It's like,
No, I've seen a couple of
So
I've seen a
gross.
couple of people, like a couple of basketball stars. They'll do that, and then they'll yell, and they'll give it to the kid.
Yep.
And then they'll be like, "No, man, I got it." And he's like, "Give it to the kid, or else you won't come back."
Yeah.
Yep.
And like they forced him to give it back. I just think it's insane.
I think a lot of actors
Seriously.
have also a thumb a rule of what to do, because I know Kurt Russell signs one thing for a fan, but then he remembers who's come up to him, because I've seen a video where a guy has come up to him and he's like, "Dude, I signed something for you yesterday." He's like, "No, don't ruin it for everyone," because he says if you ruin it for everyone, then no one gets an autograph.
oh,
So,
but
and then
I
some
would
people
jump that guy.
Yeah, and so like
Get to the back of the line, dude.
and that's
Go
also
away.
and that's also a smart tactic as well too, because everyone wants something signed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be that guy that like ruins it for everyone.
Some people have no shame.
The
Some
only
people don't.
I feel like the only person whose signature will almost mean nothing when they pass or anything like that
Chevy
is
Chase.
no. Well, besides him,
Kevin Spacey.
him too, is Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah.
He is the easiest person to get a signature from.
Yes, yes.
If you buy a ticket to Hollywood Babylon, you can get 20 things signed from Kevin Smith.
No, yeah.
Have you ever watched him at a Hollywood Babylon over at
No.
the thing?
No.
If you watch the YouTube video, like the actual like video episode of his podcast, you see he's writing something, and like he's grabbing stuff and he's just putting it to the side. The reason being is because when you go to Hollywood Babylon, I mean Hollywood Babylon, he does it too, but over at Fat Man on Batman, he'll do it where he goes, all right, guys, if you want anything signed, just put it up on the bar. And then throughout the show, I'll be signing your stuff.
That's smart.
And I'll put it to the side.
Yeah.
So that way it doesn't interrupt anything. And then when the show is over, just come back up calmly and everything like that. And then one of the girls will give it back to you. And everything like that. And like, sure. So if you watch his show, you're seeing him and it's slightly out of frame. And he's paying attention to whatever Mark Bernardin's saying. He's just like, all right, cool, whatever. And he's just signing through things, but he's signing multiple. Like people left him boxes like on the thing, and like you see him like,
damn,
and like putting it to the side, and he's just doing that.
That's actually pretty cool of him.
Don't get me wrong, that is really sick. I do have a Kevin Smith pop from a Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah,
I really want him to sign.
Yeah.
Like it's a Kevin Smith pop. I really want to sign it, but
yeah. So there's quite a few people over there. Also, Rochelle,
a lot of the
Rachel
Teen Titans cast.
Yeah.
it's all art directors.
No, the dad from Johnny Test, and he also did Goku.
Nice, dude. There's a lot of
Mick
really
Foley.
great
That's
stuff.
cool. But I saw Booker T's also on the on the
Booker T
list.
is also on that one too. Yeah.
Ernie Hudson. That's right.
Yeah. Tara Strong. Actually, this is a pretty cool lineup.
Yeah, that is. They got a solid line. Honestly, this might be a better lineup than LA Comic-Cons.
Yeah. It's more variety.
Yeah.
Because
There's a lot of variety.
LA Comic-Con, I noticed they're trying to do more big movie stars now.
Yeah, and I don't like how they put them off in that certain hall in between
where
the
you can't
games
see any of them.
Yeah, you can't see any of them, and you have to pay that like really crazy premium. Because at one point I had gone to
$300 for like one.
Not worth it.
I went to LA Comic Con 2019, and I took a picture of Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, I took a picture with Kevin Conroy.
No, I took a picture of Kevin Conroy.
Oh, nice.
I was too scared to actually like go up. I have this really big fear of like meeting
Rejection.
Or meeting your heroes?
Meeting your heroes, because I also had the chance of taking a picture with J.K. Simmons, and I really wish that I did, but I didn't because I was too scared.
I have to. I'll say,
That man is tall, by the way.
Kevin Conroy is interesting because I talked to Kevin Conroy because I got a photo with him and then I was like talking to him for a little bit, and he was a very gracious person. Like he understood. And as long as, and mind you, I only showed him nothing but respect. So he was very kind. He asked like, is there anything you want me to sign? And I was like, I didn't bring anything to sign. Like I knew today was your last day and I kind of forgot. So I didn't bring anything. And he was like, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Let's take a photo. And then we took a photo real quick and I was like, that's so sick. And I was thinking about it too. And he even said, he goes, if you find something in the show floor, bring it back. I'll sign it. Like just, if you find something. I was like, oh, all right.
Did you?
No, I didn't find anything. I didn't find anything that was like I found a lot of Batman action figures, but I didn't find like the animated series
specifically
Batman.
what his Batman was.
Yeah, like because I could have just gone like, all right, I'm gonna get this Batman pop and then have you sign it. Yeah. But for some reason, like it just wouldn't have felt right of just going like, here's a Batman thing, sign it.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool.
The few cons I've been to where I've actually had like, in my eyes, famous people like Brandon Rogers. I got his autograph on a chicken Caesar salad. I like to give people that I'm fans of something, because it's weird and it actually sticks out in their memory. Because a few years later, last year at LA Comic Con, I met Brandon Rogers again, and I was like, hey, I met you a long time ago, and I had you autograph the chicken Caesar salad for me. And he just yelled, "Oh, you bitch! You're the kid that had the chicken Caesar salad. You're the only person that ever had me
sign a chicken Caesar salad."
And it's like, I figured you would remember that because no one else. And I had bought it from the convention hall.
That's funny.
Then, like,
that's funny.
One really famous cosplay person that I would follow, I gave her a Magic the Gathering playmat, and it turns out she was also a really big fan of Magic the Gathering.
That's cool.
But that wasn't like never publicized or anything. So
that's pretty sick.
Oh, awesome.
That's cool.
So when I saw her again, she's like, "Do you still have the playmat?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." That's so cool. You actually you remembered my face and you remembered me. So it's like that weird, obscure item that can kind of forge a connection.
I can see that. You know? I think mine was like Rooker, like Michael Rooker. And I talked to him right as he was he was in the middle of making Guardians at the time. And I had him sign my issue 100 of The Walking Dead. And it was a metal cover.
Oh, cool.
It's a metal cover. It's a variant cover. It's all metal. And it's the issue 100 with all the heads of like all the people that have died in The Walking Dead so far. And I pulled it out to Rooker because I bought it there, and he looked at it and he goes, "This is sick. I like this." And he signed it, and he was like, "Oh," he goes, "Who else are you gonna get? Who else are you gonna get to sign it?" And I was like, "If I can get Norman Reedus to sign it, I'm down." He goes, "Dude, you would love this. This looks sick." But yeah, so he's really cool.
I'll find it later. I'll pop it up somewhere
You'll
on the
pop
screen.
it up later. Yeah, we can find it. If not, I'll take a photo of it.
Yeah, actually,
I can just take that. I can take a photo of it. It's the bottom right one. I mean, sorry, bottom left. Sorry, where it's like all the heads is like a sea of heads.
Oh, okay, now I see it.
And that's like it's a metallic metal cover.
Oh,
I like those comic covers.
How much is it now?
This is a 9.8, and this is going for $100.
I got a 9.8, and it's signed by Michael Rooker.
You have a certificate?
No, I need to get it. But I've never. The only reason I've opened it is to get Michael Rooker to sign it.
Yeah.
Is it on the inside or outside?
It's on the inside.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, he didn't sign the outside. I asked him to sign on the outside, and he goes, "No, the cover looks too cool. I don't want to mess up your cover."
No.
And I was like, "All right, all right, I respect that." Yeah.
Normally, whenever you get something autographed and you try and get it graded, at least for Magic the Gathering cards, if it's autographed, it actually is considered damaged. The card.
That makes sense.
So,
because somebody wrote on it.
Yeah. So I think
it's
weird.
It's one of those things though of like
just overlook that.
I wouldn't grade it because I like it and I like to be able to show my because if I were to get it graded, I would never be able to tell anybody that Michael Rooker signed it.
Yeah.
I would be like, yeah, Michael Rooker signed that. Okay.
You would need to attach like a little picture of
Can
you.
I see? No, it's like glass
it's in a slate. I can't do anything with it. No, yeah. So I mean, I would think I would ever do that, but also I don't know. It's just fun to have in my collection. Like it's a cool little comic book to have in my collection.
Yeah.
That's true. That's cool.
Anything else? Anything happened to you this week?
No, I'm just going to Comic-Con Revolution.
That's good.
That's about it.
What about you, Sean? Anything?
Nothing too interesting of note.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Pretty mundane.
Thanks.
I was trying
Tired.
We're trying. Well, I mean, if we have nothing else, I mean, we can always jump straight into comic strip.
Comic strips. Comic strip of yours.
Comic strips.
Comic strips.
Comic strips.
Comic strips, a portion of the show where we don't tangent for more than 10 to 15 minutes per topic. First thing up on the criteria docket. This is actually, we'll see how fast we can blow through it because there's some interesting stuff.
Okay.
IronHeart, set to finally release after being postponed after 3 years of a hiatus, finished filming late November of 2022 and was set to release February or late 2023. The date was moved from September 3rd of this year to June 24th, with the first 3 episodes being released on the 24th. This seems like really bad marketing that Disney did. And they're banking on Ryan Coogler to promote this.
The show, it had to go through a huge rewrite because Don Cheadle was supposed to be attached to it, right?
Yeah.
No, that was a different one.
Oh, really?
No?
That was Armor Wars.
Armor Wars.
So was Ironheart supposed to be part of that, though?
Ironheart was it was supposed to be Armor Wars, and it was supposed to be Ironheart, and then Don Cheadle was supposed to show up at the very end, and then that was supposed to lead you into Armor Wars, where Don Cheadle was like taking her under his wing, and then her and him going to go get Tony's stuff, basically.
I feel Rhodey is being done. The character Rhodey's just being done dirty.
Oh yeah, dude. After Secret Wars, it's super weird.
Why is there so much hate for him? Like at least from
did
like
you see? Did
production.
You see?
Yeah.
Did you see what happened at the end of?
Yeah, it
He's
doesn't
a
make
scroll
sense.
the whole
And then
time?
it was so weird.
Secret
like when you
Invasion.
think back.
Yeah. Oh, Secret Invasion.
Yeah, Secret Invasion. When you think back of like what was going on at the end of Endgame or after Endgame, and like Tony Stark's it, and that's not actually Rhodey at the funeral. That's
See, and I think that was
Skrull.
and I think that
ruined that moment.
that goes
big
in.
time.
Yeah, and it's really weird too, especially when they go, "Oh yeah, technically Rhodey
He
wasn't
even at the
Rhodey,
funeral.
wasn't at the funeral. He wasn't because he got picked. They said he got picked up during one of his checkups for his legs. Like after they fixed his legs the second
right
time.
After the accident where he got shot down and he
It wasn't
landed in the field.
It wasn't
they picked
immediate.
him
It wasn't immediately.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was because it was after he fell and everything else. He was able to use his legs, and then remember, Tony Stark modifies his legs.
Yeah.
So that way the
well, I mean, does he really though? Because it was.
Hey man, can you walk?
Did
you
Rhodey
walk?
even use his legs again after being paralyzed? I don't think he.
No, because it was less of like the leg bracers from Batman, and it was more of like a chip in his spine.
Yeah.
Because before, remember, it was like he had the braces around his legs, and that would help him walk.
Yeah, I think that was around the time of the scroll, though. That would have.
Maybe.
Does it?
I don't know.
Well, anyways.
That's the weird thing about Marvel right now. You don't know where the timeline of anything is.
No.
So that's the weird part, man, is because you have all of these weird things that are happening, and I really do think after Secret Invasion should have been Armor Wars.
Oh yeah.
Because I think the perfect segue for and I think that was the original idea, where Rhodey was going to be a Skrull.
Mm-hmm.
He was then going to he was going to come out of like this little hibernation thing, feel like a huge loss with Tony gone, and thinking I could have saved him if I was there. How could I have missed it? Everything like that, and then seeing the way that his best friend's technology is being misused, leading into Armor Wars, finding an ally in Riri Williams, and then that goes into
scrapped all
IronHeart.
that, didn't they?
They scrapped all of it, yeah. And
I forgot what phase that was supposed to be. Phase 4, right?
that was technically phase 5. That was because that was
I thought we're in phase 5 right now.
Are we in phase 5?
No, we just ended phase 4.
We just
so it would have been phase 4.
Phase okay.
Because phase 3 was the end. It culminated into Infinity Wars and the Gauntlet. And then phase 4 was this like weird phase where nobody really knew what was happening, and things are all out of order and everything else. It's this weird Tarantino film that isn't as good as a Tarantino film.
Yeah. IronHeart will have a 6-episode show run.
Okay.
So they're automatically gonna. I think they're just gonna release it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that doesn't sound reassuring.
You know what? But I can't say that because they released Andor in 3.
Yes.
So they released Andor in 4 weeks, actually.
But Andor already was established as a show. This is a second season, so it makes a little bit more sense. Like instead of you doing episodically, do the chunks that they've done, and it has a longer show run too than IronHeart.
I do feel though if Andor was not released in the 3 episodes that it was, I don't think the show would have been as good. If you would have had to wait week to week, the show's too slow.
Let's see if the 3 episode a week pushes its
I'm okay with 3 episodes a week. Yeah. I'm okay with that. It gives you a big block to watch. Yeah. It just depends.
More marketing.
You know what? I feel like they're just trying to get it off the slate.
And
it feels like they just kind of want to like put it out.
Yeah, they're hoping that Ryan Coogler
on the worst day. They put it out on Monday, the week of this recording. You know what else came out that Monday? Superman.
The trailer?
The new Superman trailer dropped that Monday as well, which is our next topic.
But I think it's really funny because I don't know which. It's like the chicken and the egg. I don't know which one was going to drop first.
You can just go to YouTube and see which one was posted at what time.
Because that's the really funny thing.
I think IronHeart was posted first. Because I remember later in the afternoon, the Superman trailer.
Well, because Superman was already scheduled to drop, I think. But IronHeart just dropped.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
I think what Marvel was probably trying to see is, are people excited about IronHeart and are they more excited than Superman? Which no.
No, I think they should have left it scrapped because the fact that it was on a 3-year hiatus, when it wrapped in 2022,
I feel like,
and now it's coming out 2025.
Riri Williams.
Why did they postpone it for so long, and why did they have to do all the reshoots?
Riri Williams is not. She wasn't as critically received.
She's not. I actually did research on who she is today before this, and I was like, she's a sociopath.
In the comics, or
yes,
in the comics, yes, she is Tony Stark's kind of like protege, but the big well, she's not a protege, but
she's a protege, but
she's
I
not.
think she's done.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is who they inserted to be the new Iron Man.
well, that's the like the weird part is you have this character, and I feel it's weird to try to associate her with the Iron Man name and the Iron Man storyline and tech.
She didn't have a long comic run either.
But not only that, but also she never showed up in an Iron Man movie. And I feel if you would have just introduced her in an Iron Man movie and she interacted with Tony Stark even a little bit.
Yeah.
Like even in Endgame, if she would have been his secretary.
A temp.
Like a temp.
So,
that was like learning
in
off
the
of him.
robotics division.
Yeah,
or
and like
a scholarship.
Yeah, and she helped him figure out time travel. Or like figure out some pieces of the suit or anything like that. You can kind of go like, oh, cool. Like, I get it. She's really cool. And then when Iron Man dies, she's another one of those people who's like, oh, wow, he meant a lot to me. And then she goes on to become, the next Iron Man.
Yeah.
Cool. You pitched it really well. This one, for her to show up in Wakanda Forever.
For a very split second, and in the trailer, they actually went out of their way to remind you, hey, this character was in Black Panther or Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, like, and it's kind of like, okay, did I care in Wakanda Forever for Riri Williams? Not really. She was more of a MacGuffin inside of in it because they were like, we need somebody that could build a cage for Namor, and then they went to go find Riri Williams, and it was like, okay, cool, like now we have this, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fun, but she didn't really do too much. No. Even as IronHeart. When she was in the suit, she got knocked out by Namor pretty quick.
Yeah,
like she got taken out pretty dang quick.
Oh wow!
Like comparable to like Iron Man versus Riri Williams. Like Tony Stark took on the Mad Titan in a suit of in an armor suit.
Yeah,
she couldn't take on Namor. She got wrecked.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
and she had vibranium.
Oh,
she had a vibranium suit.
Yeah, she had a vibranium suit. Yeah.
Oh dang!
Tony Stark only had the nanotech suit. He didn't have the vibranium suit.
And scraps that he got from in a cave.
Yes, he built it in scraps from a cave.
In a cave.
Which they're saying that actually might be his son, in the middle of the trailer.
Which one?
So they're saying that Obadiah Stane may be the father of the guy who has like no, not the Hood. The guy who has the curly hair, and then she's like, she goes down into his basement.
Oh, the Doomsday guy with the
Doomsday
sign of
guy.
Live, Laugh, Love. I thought
Live,
that
Laugh,
was
Love.
so
They're saying that might be either Obadiah Stane's son or his grandson.
Okay, I kind of want that neon sign now.
And that would be their connection to Stark. Is Obadiah Stane's son or grandson? And so I was like, oh, that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because Obadiah Stane was already an arms dealer.
Yeah. Well, no, he wasn't an arms dealer. He was, with Tony Stark, but they were arms dealers.
They were both arms dealers together. Yeah.
I think a little thing that I liked about the trailer was that they're still using the same Dean from Civil War from Community in here.
Oh,
because the guy that she talks to from MIT, that's the same. That's the Dean from Community.
Yeah.
Yes,
but he was also the Dean in MIT in Civil War.
Yes.
Yeah, so that they kept with their continuity. That's what I like. Yeah.
That guy didn't get a promotion though. It
No.
sucks.
No.
It's terrible.
Yep.
I'm wondering if everybody in this MIT group is part of the September Foundation. If they're like the last of Tony Stark's, because remember he put a grant in Civil War at MIT where anybody could fund anything. So that would kind of make sense that she's a member of the September Foundation, and that's how she has Tony Stark technology and everything else, because that was a part of it. They had access to Stark tech. So I don't know. The show looks interesting. I'm not as excited for it as like Daredevil.
Gives me Echo vibes. I feel like this show is gonna probably be slightly better than Echo, but it's gonna be like in that ballpark.
I feel like it's gonna be a little better than Echo. Yeah. But not as good as Miss Marvel.
I mean, Echo really set the bar. I don't think it'll be better than Agatha all along.
Ooh, that's hard.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be better than that, but it's gonna be a little bit better than Echo.
So far, my top 3 is definitely Born Again, Agatha All Along, and WandaVision.
What about Loki?
Oh shoot! Yeah, that's okay. Top 5. We got to add more.
And the order doesn't.
Yeah, the order
mean
doesn't
anything.
matter. Yeah, no. Loki definitely gets added on there.
They said, didn't Disney state that White Vision Quest?
Vision Quest.
White Vision Quest. White Vision Quest is going to be the last Marvel TV series connected to the movies.
Really?
Yeah, that they'll be doing.
That sounds refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, the shackles will be lifted, and we don't have to worry about keeping up with shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Stick to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think that if you were, it's so weird because I remember when they first announced the shows are going to be connected to the movies. You're like, oh my god, dude, I'm just gonna drown in Marvel stuff.
And
now
we got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And then now that we're being waterboarded by Marvel stuff, I can't breathe.
It's that meme that's going around right now from Monsters vs. Aliens, and it's Bob, and he's being force-fed the carrots.
Yeah.
Nowhere, little boy, we got enough Marvel TV shows to last you 5 years.
Dude, like honestly, like at first you felt like really like, oh my god, like I have like so much to eat. I have so much to watch, and then now you're like, oh my god, I have so much to watch. Oh my god, I have like 9 TV shows for this movie to make sense. Oh my god. So I'm looking forward to it not being connected.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Next, new Superman trailer came out this week on Wednesday, May 14th. New changes were made after fan backlash.
Dude, talk about sex.
Corn Sweat showing off his switch between Clark and Superman. Very crispy, very amazing. New villains, a new villain shown, and a better look behind Lex and more.
What was the new villain?
That golden thing that he took on.
Not the golden thing. The one that was with Lex when they're invading the Fortress of Solitude.
Oh, the one
and
in
she
black?
has like a black suit.
That's the engineer. It's the engineer.
That's the engineer. Okay. This is the first time we see her in the. Bless you.
Oh my god.
First time we see her in the trailer, right?
No, you've seen her before. She was inside of the.
But we never
saw.
saw. But we never saw like her abilities.
Yeah, because she was in one of the TV spots. You see Superman dodging her spheres as they're getting thrown at him. Everybody thought they were T-spheres, but it's just the engineer. Because when they play the scene longer, you see her running after him, and they're coming off of her arm.
Oh, okay.
And she's tossing them.
It is set to release July 11th.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Very close.
You mentioned the little tiny things that they changed.
I think there were 2 changes.
There was two. There was 2
or 3.
There was like 2. The biggest change that they made.
Yes, the most notable one.
Yeah, the most notable one that everybody noticed was the can.
Yeah.
If you guys have seen the trailer, there's a scene where a bunch of people.
2, I
I
believe.
think in trailer 2.
Yeah.
I actually think it's in trailer 1.
Oh yeah, no,
It's in the first trailer when like all the people are outside of
the courthouse
the courthouse or Lord Industries.
Yeah,
I think it's Lord Industries.
Okay.
And they're rioting. Superman lands and he's all messed up and everything else, and people are yelling at him. And somebody throws a can at the back of his head. In the first trailer, in the first way that they shot it, it hits Superman in the back of the head, and he squints.
He squints, and his head is
pushed, he winces from getting hit by it. Fans thought that's stupid. It's Superman. Obviously, he wouldn't.
I'm sorry. It's not a big deal. It's not. Like how they're like building a mound out of a molehill. It's not that big of a deal. But it was something that I did notice, and I was like, well, I mean, we've seen Superman get shot in the eye at point blank range on screen. You know, we've seen, and there's nothing. But then when you mentioned that he was startled, I still don't even think that would happen, because in like Justice League and the Superman show, when people like come up behind him with the crowbar, you know, and he's talking to somebody,
I
boom.
Get it. No, and I get what you're talking about. I do understand what you're talking about. Like, there's a couple of scenes in the animated show. There's also a couple of scenes in the movies.
There's
and
some
everything else.
validity to
There's some validities for no, there's not. People are still pieces of.
No, it's just those heavily critiquing people are just the same people trying to hang on to the Snyderverse.
But the big thing was that so when I saw that, I really liked it because it showed Superman's humanity. It showed that he's not a god. Yeah. And the problem that I feel like that was the problem with the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
Was that we chopped Superman up to just being the reincarnation of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, totally.
And he was way too much of like a god in front of mortal men. And the reason why I liked it so much was it's not because people were complaining, going like a can hurt Superman. No, it wasn't that. It was a can that hurt Superman. It was he's in shock because I don't know what just happened, but something had happened, and he's in shock. And now he's going, and then something flies at him. He doesn't know what it is, and then he just like kind of flinches just a little bit, and that's it. It's nothing like super major or anything like that. He had the same reaction that any other person would have had.
I feel like
something getting thrown at you.
I feel like it's the equivalent of him just having a fly hit his head, but it's like you still notice it.
Or I even thought about it as like a pillow.
Yeah,
like a pillow hitting the back of your head. You feel it hit your head, and you're like, "Oh, what was that?" But you don't like. He's not. He's not. It's not that he's.
His head's not moving. It's just he just hit and he goes like this.
And he goes, like. And I also took it as too when he does that of him being frustrated, because like it hits him and then he kind of like twitches his eye like he was upset, like just like I like how much have I sacrificed for you people, and you still hate me and everything else. So it had so many different layers that you could go with it. The fact that everybody was just like, that's stupid. Superman would never win.
Well,
it was a can.
I'm looking forward to this Superman movie because I like that this version of Superman is engaging in the conversation.
Yeah.
In Quevedo Superman and Snyder's Superman, he's more like he's like, okay, I am aware of the conversation, but I'm not gonna talk to anyone about it because every time he's like he's around, he's just standing there like, okay, I'm gonna stay quiet.
I feel like Quevedo had the problem that Andrew Garfield did.
Probably, yeah.
Where he did not have a switch. There was no switch from Superman to Clark with Quevedo. Same way that Andrew Garfield did not have a switch from Peter to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They were the same person.
Yeah.
Where honestly, if you met Spider-Man and then shortly after you met Andrew Garfield, Peter Parker, you'd be like, are you Spider-Man? Same thing with Henry Cavill, where like he was always very stoic and like he never really joked around. He never really thought anything was fun and everything else. And neither did his Clark. His Clark was also overly serious.
Well, that's the thing. We're making Henry Cavill try to look like Clark Kent, but at the same time, he's like overly buff.
Yeah, like he's like.
So he's still kind of. I mean, he's acting.
He's built like a brick now. So you're just. I'm not Superman.
Yeah. I'm not. But I think with Corn Sweat, he's doing a very interesting thing. You can tell when he's Clark, even in the beginning, you can tell he's Clark. He speaks high.
His voice is a lot higher.
He speaks higher. And to him, I guess that's the indication of like, okay, I gotta be very awkward.
That's it. That's his awkward.
Quirky.
Yeah, quirky and stuff. And then when he's Superman, he's more
confident.
Yes. You can hear the confidence. Yeah,
he's got some bass in his voice.
That was amazing.
I love the playfulness between him and Lois. That was good.
There was one thing you had mentioned a little while ago was he's not being made out to look like a god in this. Like
no,
he's a caring person. And you see that so much when he's being interviewed by Lois, and he's getting like really agitated. And
well, says, yeah, because that would happen.
Supposed to do let them die.
Well, yeah. The interesting thing is
this is my Superman. This is the Superman I've been wanting.
That
to see.
Scene apparently, according to James Gunn, is 12 minutes.
That is awesome.
It's between him and Lois. That's a 12-minute shot. Like it's a 12-minute scene. He said it's like Frost Nixon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So imagine that scene in Frost Nixon where like she's getting in on the story, and it's supposed to show Superman and his values, but also how good of a reporter Lois Lane is.
Yes, because I love how it's because when they agree that to get interviewed, it's gonna be you could tell it's gonna be his first interview. And she's just going into him because she knows that, if you're going to get more interviews, like people are going to want to interview.
People are going to try and ask these.
You're going to get the tough questions. You're going to get like those stump questions. And I don't want to make sure you look like an idiot.
Yeah. Also, I love the idea that Lois Lane knows that he's Superman.
Yes.
I feel like that's just a thing that we should keep doing.
She's a great investigative reporter. She would figure it out.
It makes her look stupid. When she's an investigative reporter and she was just like, it's the mystery of a century. Who's Superman? Yeah. What do you think, Clark? And it's just like, I don't know. I gotta go. I gotta fly out of here, Lois.
I'll meet you back at the office, okay?
I like the line she says to him that you're too kind. I forget how it is exactly. Like, you're too kind, and for this, and it's like too old fashioned in this day and age.
Yes.
And I feel like that really resonates a lot with also what's going on
you're too
around us. And
you're too black and white, and there's in a world full of gray.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to kind of see their relationship with it, and especially to think this is 12 minutes. Like this is 12 minutes
it's gonna
of the
be
movie.
a great heated scene.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it because you can kind of see Corn Sweat's Superman being very cocky, very like, oh, this is gonna be easy. Oh, it's Lois Lane. It's
Like,
my girlfriend.
You can tell. You could tell that when he thought about becoming a superhero, he was gonna be like, oh, it's all gonna be love because I'm helping people.
Yes.
I'm saving people.
He has good
People would
intentions.
People would be very very happy, grateful that I'm doing all this.
And I think that's also an interesting. I feel like that is going to be kind of like their pushback. A lot of it of like, I feel that I should just save everybody. Like, it shouldn't matter what country they're from. It shouldn't matter what race they are. It shouldn't matter their boundaries. It shouldn't matter anything. If they're in danger,
I will. I'm
going to help them out.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to kind of go like, yeah, but you represent America. And he's like, why do I represent America?
Yeah.
Like, why would I represent that? And they were like, well, you're an American hero. And he's like,
I'm not.
I'm a hero of truth and justice.
I'm not here for the American way.
Yeah.
And I think
really hope that's what James Gunn does.
I would be interested. I think if he did that, there would be so much backlash. If he were to like go like, I represent truth, justice, but not the American way.
Yeah.
I don't think he would do that.
I don't think he would do that.
Well, no, he wouldn't say, well, not the American way, but he can have him not say it.
Yeah.
He fights for truth and justice, and that's it.
Yeah,
because
people are
that's
still
so old
probably.
school. That's the thing. That's so old school.
People would still hate on it though. They would be like, "Oh, my Superman fights for the American way." It's just like, nah, dude.
Swamp Thing fights for the swamps and Earth.
But I thought, what was also really cool? I loved seeing all the Justice League members, the Justice Society.
Yes,
I love seeing how Guy Gardner uses his ring.
So
we got some new people.
Yeah.
I asked Mandy if she wants to see this movie because I know Nathan Fillion's in it.
Yes,
she loves The Rookie. We all know that's her favorite show. She saw the trailer and she goes, "Why does John Nolan look like that?" I go, "What? Look like what?" "I don't like the haircut he has."
The bowl cut?
Yeah. I go, "That's the signature Guy Gardner bowl cut." She goes, "No, I don't like it. I'm not going to see this movie."
Did you show her Hot Girl?
No, she doesn't care. No, it's because Nathan Fillion does not look like the way that she likes. So it's the bowl cut.
Priorities.
Priorities.
That's the only way she'll take her Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, she wants
is with the short spiky hair.
Short, spiky John Nolan hair.
But for anything else, I do love seeing Metallo. Or not Metallo, Metamorpho.
Yeah,
I love seeing the way that they're using Metamorpho. I like seeing the fact that Metamorpho is their way of controlling Superman.
On-screen appearance.
Yeah, but I love seeing and I do like that we're introducing Stag Industries because that's never really been brought up because Stag Industries is where Metamorpho falls in and he becomes Metamorpho and he has like all these other things.
Yeah.
There was a really good, if you guys haven't seen anything about Metamorpho, there's a Batman the Animated Series episode that does it really well.
Wait, Brave and the Bold, right?
No, it's Batman the Animated Series. Brave and the Bold does it as well.
Okay. That's the one I remember.
Batman the Animated Series one is where Bruce Wayne is friends with him, and then he.
And they
No, not yet. That's the fan fiction one. But he's working for Stag Industries, and then he ends up falling into like this chemical, and you find out that it was Stag who pushed him in.
Like 50-10. Yeah.
But so it's really interesting. Metamorpho is going to be super cool. I love seeing Lex Luthor lose it.
Yeah,
Nicholas crying.
Nicholas Hoult, you could tell he's bringing the emotion.
Yeah.
Of Lex Luthor.
President.
Luthor. President Lex Luthor.
Is he he's not president yet?
Yes, he is.
Well, he might be. He might be because when they said, "Did you consult with the president?" it cut to Lex.
I thought she said President Luthor.
No, she doesn't say President Luthor. It just cuts to him.
It just when she says the word president, it cuts to Lex.
But also I don't. But what was it called? It also said the Secretary of Defense, and it cut to
Lex Luthor.
No, it cut to oh my God. The dude from Peacemaker.
Oh yeah, Rick Flag.
Rick Flag. Cut to him, and he's Rick Flag Senior, and he's not the Secretary of State.
No, he's not.
So that's why I'm saying, like, I think they were just cutting things but I don't think he's actually president.
It would be interesting if they do that direction.
Yeah, I would like that.
In the comics, Lex does become president.
That's like far into Superman.
That's kind of like
he's president.
That's like Wilson Fisk turning into the mayor of New York. They actually did mention it in Infinite Crisis, the CW version, where they were like, Lex Luthor is coming to kill you.
No, I didn't know the president.
It's the guy from
in town.
And he goes, it was Tom Welling, and he goes, I didn't know the president was in town.
Yeah, the guy from 2.5 Men.
Yeah,
it was Lex. I was like, he plays a pretty good villain.
He actually plays a really good Lex.
I like it.
I like his Lex.
I like his version of Lex. It's very. He's more strategic. He's more into his wits.
He's a jerk.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
He's
a corporate jerk.
He's just a corporate jerk. He's willing to do anything. That was kryptonite.
I want one thing to be said in this movie. Just one simple, sweet phrase.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I want that, and then boom, title card, roll credits.
I think that would be the very beginning.
Are you sure?
Because I think it would be so interesting if the kaiju is the very beginning of the movie, and it's just and it like it's a normal day in Metropolis. You see,
kind of like a comic book issue.
Yes, like
we're here today in the Daily Planet. Well, Superman, it's just kind of like
hanging Lois Lane in the printer room.
Yeah.
That's the 50 Shades of Grey version, where he's tying her up with Wonder Woman's lasso.
Look, she can't blame his X-ray vision for anything going on because they were banging in the copy room.
I've seen that Robot Chicken, where like all the girls are like, "Oh, Clark, we have breast cancer and we have cancer all over us. It's almost as if we've been getting X-rays every day, 5 times a day, every single day." And he goes, wow, that's weird.
Up and away.
Yeah.
That too. I would like if Corn Sweat said that. Up and away.
Up and away.
Instead of eyes up here.
You know what? So somebody explained that to me because I was like, that's an interesting thing of him being kind of cocky.
Yeah.
It's not for him, and it's not for the kaiju. It's for the people around him. He's trying to bring levity to a situation that looks dire.
Kind of like how Spider-Man makes his quips when he's fighting villains, and he's
kind of, but Superman
alleviate the stress.
Yeah, and Superman's kind of doing the same thing. He's kind of doing an All Might.
Yeah.
Where he's smiling.
I am here.
Like he's smiling and he's like trying to make.
Feel safe.
I would feel safe if Superman is cracking jokes.
Yep.
We're good.
Yep.
The moment Superman is like screaming and crying, the world's probably over. Darkseid won.
Oh God, no!
If he's crying, that means
he's gonna eye beam me.
Darkseid eye beamed him hard. No, but I'm excited to see Corn Sweat. I'm excited to see all of them. I'm really excited to see like Hawkman and Hawkgirl and Green Lantern. It's gonna be the first time we actually see like a live action Green Lantern. Well, besides Ryan Reynolds, but like a live action Green Lantern. And so far, from what I've been seeing from like his constructs and stuff, they're really cool.
Yeah,
I'm really enjoying it. So I'm excited. This movie's gonna be cool.
Same.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to know what. This popped into my head the other day. I was watching Gilmore Girls. Tangent just a little bit.
Yeah.
I was watching Gilmore Girls, and Sean Gunn is shirtless in Gilmore Girls.
Is he?
He's taking a schwitz with like the elders of like the town, and he's trying to get like this house. Funniest thing though, because Monica looks up and she goes, "This scene always bothered me because Sean Gunn has a very weird body."
Yeah. Like his little belly.
He has like a little belly, and then
he's like the worm from Men in Black.
His body is Weasel.
His body is
Yeah,
Weasel.
his body is Weasel.
No, but I know that like he motion captured Weasel. But literally when I was looking at it, I was like, why does that body look so familiar?
Yeah.
It's literally they just cut his head off and they gave his body hair.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's so weirdly misshapen. And they were like, that looks like a weasel. And like,
you see that a lot in the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie when I think he's in like a prison jumpsuit or whatever. Or I forget what he's wearing. But you just see like flat chest and then
just belly.
Weird belly. Yeah. I'm like,
he's got an oddly shaped body.
So it's interesting because he's supposed to be playing Maxwell Lord.
He is Maxwell Lord. But I don't think he's gonna be a villain in this one. I think he's just gonna be because it looks like whatever is going on with the Justice Society continues into Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, that means Hawkgirl lives, Green Lantern lives.
Yeah, because Maxwell Lord owns the JSA.
Yeah, he owns the JSA. He's forming the Justice Society. So, and then Superman eventually, him with Batman end up doing the Justice League. And like they're more of, because Maxwell Lord, I think you can pay for their services. They're more
and I think they only do maybe like
they're more mercenary.
Yeah, they're like government contracted.
Yeah, they're like government mercenaries.
What if he turns Superman into the linchpin that is the whole reason that the JLA are formed? Like I'm going to put so much resources into you now so we get this thing off the ground, but you're the glue that holds all of these
the one that's always funny is I always love it when it's just Batman, when it's just Bruce, because it just shows his wealth.
Yeah.
Of just of like how much money does Bruce Wayne have? I don't know. He built a league.
Yeah.
Like he built a Justice League.
That space station.
Yeah. He built the space station by himself.
Yeah.
It's just Wayne Tech. There isn't any Lord Tech. There's nothing in it.
It's all Wayne Tech.
It's all Wayne Tech because Batman was so sure that no one could ever hack into this because it's Wayne Tech. It's like nobody else is going to get involved. And I love the idea of like he's just stupidly rich.
Yeah.
That he could just build a space station, build ships, pay people like wages and everything else. He has staff inside of the Justice League Tower. And
not to mention the technology that he has to make to get there.
Yeah.
Which is teleporting.
Yeah, like the
teleporting the boom tubes.
The boom tubes.
Yep.
Dude, it's so interesting, and I love when it's just Wayne Tech because it's just like, oh, that's right, he's stupid rich.
Yeah.
Got that dumb
there's
money.
I think there's
99% of the entire world's
no,
wealth.
there's one where Wonder Woman makes a joke of like, oh, we'll have to see where the fun. We'll have to see if the funds are there, and then Wonder Woman goes like, well, the Wonder Woman dolls have been selling really well. If you want me to pitch in,
and
then he just goes,
I'm sure the profits from the Wonder Woman dolls can pick up the slack that Wayne Enterprises is lacking.
And then he's just like, and he's like, oh, don't worry, the Wayne Enterprises can fund the whole thing.
Yeah.
Burn.
It's such a good burn.
It is.
It's so funny, but
So
Rich people.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I'm
hoping if we do get a Justice League movie, we get banter like that.
I
with it.
really want
Cool.
it. I really
because that's
want
the thing. I mean, like you could show me the coolest villain they face. You can show me characters dying, but I just want great banter between these superheroes.
And if it's gonna be gun still, which it will be.
Yeah.
Yes.
It definitely will be guaranteed.
Well, I'm looking forward to Supergirl. Supergirl is supposed to show up at the end of the movie. She's
and then that's the next DC film.
That's the next DC film, and then after that one should be Brave and the Bold.
That's right. Oh my god.
So we should get Brave and the Bold after that.
It feels like we're getting so close to it now.
Yeah, it's gonna be so weird to be jumping into the James Gunn
DC
Superman
universe.
DC universe.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I'm super excited. I'm super interested. Corn Sweat, he's my Superman right now.
Take my money.
Definitely.
Yeah, dude, just take my money.
I gotta get that shirt you have so I can wear it.
I think it was at Walmart for like $10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gotta wear it.
Are y'all down to wear Superman shirts?
I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm down to
that'd be
dress
cool.
up like Clark.
Oh,
that's a different one.
And you wear a Superman shirt underneath it. Nice.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Can
That's
burn it a
clever.
little bit. Have like I came out of a burning building.
Oh yeah, that would be really funny.
Hey,
I did that in high school. I
As
showed
a-
up late to one of my classes. I think it was my 4th period science class, like sophomore or junior year, and I lit my shirt on fire around the side of the building. I don't know why I didn't get caught, and I'm glad I didn't because I was burning my clothes. And then I walk into the classroom and I'm putting out the fire, and I'm like, sorry, I'm late. And I sat down at my desk, and people were looking at me like, did you light your shirt on fire?
Hey, little arson.
Yeah. Oh, we got a little arson.
Were you that weird arson in Whittier that was just like watching stuff burn?
No.
And you were just sending videotapes in? Was that you?
No, that sounds like amateur stuff.
That sounds like some amateur hour.
I'm trying to melt steel beams,
Oh
bro.
God.
Jeez.
That's the level of arson.
Jesus. What's the next topic?
Next topic is Dogma is back in theaters. I don't have the date. I simply just wrote
I think it was June 11th.
June
Yeah,
11th.
You can look it up. Yeah, I think it's like June or July. It's either or.
We'll see that for my birthday then.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Let's go see it for our birthdays.
My birthday's on the 20th. Yeah. So I think that's like a Friday or Thursday.
Yeah, Dogma. If you guys haven't seen it, it's Kevin Smith's film. Came out 25 years ago. Starring Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Jason Mewes, Chris Rock,
Alan Rickman. It's such a, you know what, when you go back, it is the weirdest movie that you could probably use for 20 of where you're going like Alan Rickman and this person, how are they connected? Yeah. And then you're like, oh easy. And you were like, oh easy. As long as he knows Chris Rock, I can get there. As long as this person can connect to Chris Rock somehow, I can get Chris Rock and Alan Rickman in the same room.
Yeah. God, Alan Rickman's in that movie.
Yeah.
And funny enough, during this time is when Superman Lives is being worked on because Chris Rock is on Dogma when he tells Kevin Smith that he was going to be Jimmy Olsen.
Oh, that's right. He was going to be Jimmy Olsen.
He was going to be Jimmy Olsen in Superman Lives.
Yeah.
He was going to be Jimmy Olsen because he even walked into the Dogma set and he goes, "Guess who's Jimmy Olsen?" And like he was like, "Who?" And
Kevin Smith.
He's like, "I am. I just got Jimmy Olsen, man." And he's like, "Oh, okay, that's awesome." Yeah, it's super cool. I love Dogma.
Dogma is a great movie.
I think Dogma is one of Kevin Smith's best. I still think Red State is his best movie.
I think Dogma has one of the more engaging conversations.
True.
In all the movies.
I think Dogma has
cult following.
Dogma has the most to say. Dogma very much has the most to say when it comes to like religion and like where beliefs are and everything. It's a very interesting movie, and if you haven't seen it, it's a great watch. Yeah, I definitely recommend it.
It's streaming now, right? Because before there was like nowhere.
You can get it online now. Yeah. Now you can get it online. Before it wasn't. You couldn't find it almost anywhere. You had to find the DVD or the VHS for it. And
if you were willing to shell out like $70, $80 for it.
Now you can find it. Now you can find it on streaming now and everything else. But yeah, so they're coming out with the 25th anniversary. Kevin Smith finally got the rights for distribution back because they were with the Weinsteins for like the longest time, and they wouldn't do them. They wouldn't give them any. The Weinsteins wouldn't give it to Kevin to do anything with. Now they finally have it. He was able to buy the rights to it because he even said too he wanted to do a Dogma sequel. And he couldn't. Like they owned the rights to Dogma, so he couldn't. Yeah, so he couldn't do anything with the actual name and the characters and everything else because they were owned by the Weinsteins.
Yep.
So
that all changed.
It does. It does all change.
Thank God. Is that appropriate to say?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Thank God. Okay, thank God.
You know what? You know what's so funny though? I didn't even notice that was a poster for Dogma when we were at the AMC yesterday.
Oh really?
Because there's a poster for it. It's just Buddy Christ.
Oh,
it's just
that's awesome.
It's a poster with Buddy Christ on it.
I want a shirt of Buddy Christ, dude.
It's a shirt of Buddy Christ, and I was like, and then I thought it was a Jesus movie at first. Because I caught it on the corner of my eye. Because you know that wall right as you're walking into the restroom.
Yeah, it's right in front of it.
It's right in front of it, and I caught it in the corner of my eye, and I was like, "That's a weird Jesus movie that's coming out." And then all of a sudden I wait, that looked like Buddy Christ, and I turned and it says Dogma, 25th anniversary, and I was like, "Oh yes."
I want that poster.
Yeah,
I want to go to one of the theaters and see if I can.
Because it has Buddy Christ, and then it has all of the main actors, but they look like stained glass.
Yeah.
So they has them all in stained glass. I was like, that is chef's kiss. It's a nice little chef's kiss.
Next bit, we have Nintendo earlier this week updated its terms of service, allowing them to render a Switch console unusable in whole or in part if it violates the agreement. This was done to help combat pirated games' attempts to emulate titles or otherwise modify their consoles. $450 for a Switch, and the Mario Kart bundle is now officially $500. Stated by Nintendo, tariffs did not impact our price point. Also, Nintendo will also release its GPU Mini 30 series
So,
is what's going to be powering the
my question
Switch
is, how will they know that you modded it?
You know what? You're gonna.
How would they know you opened it up and modded it?
If you go through the terms of service, there is probably some form of monitoring thing that you would. It's a little evasive, so you agreeing to that by buying the Switch is giving them permission. The fact that you're giving them permission because you have to agree to the terms.
So this is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about it for modding. What if you just repair it? You opened it up. You put in a second.
I think it's looking for software.
But the thing is that if I did a hardware mod, would it not be able to detect it? Because hardware mods are also a thing you can do too.
Maybe that's why they said or in part, because they said unusable in whole or in part.
So that's what I mean, though, is that if I were to so let's say I used a second party screen or joysticks. Like I took out the joysticks and I put in like these like gripped joysticks that are like they can, because third party developers make extra parts and you just simply open it up and then you change them. It's the same thing with the Wiimote. I mean the Switch motes. Yeah. Where you can take them apart and then you can put like new skins on them. That's considered modding. Yeah. Does that mean that you can shut off my thing if I modded it?
I think when they say modding, it's more modifying the game files. When you're modifying hardware that makes performances different or altering the state of game is probably what they're referring to by mods. So, because I don't think cosmetic mods is really going to trigger anything in a console, because again, it's all plastic, it's all aesthetic. There's no transistors, resistors, like sending
because the thing is that unless the system could tell that something's been added.
Is that why the price is so high? So they know
if
they're breaking the contract.
I don't know, that's the weird thing is that it's a weird slippery slope.
It is.
Because what if you were to? Because this is what I mean though, is that like let's say I went to a secondhand repair shop. I didn't want to send it to Nintendo. My warranty went out. Yada yada yada. I then, they then cleaned it. They did everything else, and they swapped out the screen, added some customization to it, and they did all these other things. Technically, that's modding the system. If there is a way to check in on that, does that mean that just because I cleaned it and I changed out the screen or I did anything like that, they can turn off my Switch?
You know where you can find all this information? In their terms of service. If you specifically go to the section that is allowing all of this to happen, you'll probably find the stipulations and what they're referring to.
But I'm pretty positive they're very vague, because that's how most terms of services are. They're very vague.
Maybe. I mean, they're already blatantly telling you like, "Hey, we're going to turn it into a paperweight if you even try doing anything to it."
But I even if I were to mod it, like put something else on it. So let's just say, because there's some people that do where they made it into a what was it? They made it into a Steam Deck. Some people turned Switches into Steam Decks where they would flash it and then they would put Linux on it and then they would then dual boot them, so you can boot it one as a Switch and then you can then boot it again if you put a specific card inside, where it would basically boot as a Linux machine and then it would turn it into a Steam Deck and I can take video games on the go.
Yeah. A really cool, comprehensive Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Yeah. It's very cool technology, everything else. Would I not be able to do that anymore? Because that's hard. That's modding the hell out of it.
Yeah, and you're not.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Because they're telling you already before it's in anyone's hands.
I feel
if you try and do stuff to it, we'll destroy it.
You know what's so funny though? It's so funny to see companies like Nintendo that are so stringent on like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. Don't show my games on Twitch. Don't do this. Don't modify my
family console.
We're a family console. But the thing is that, and then you get to people like Microsoft, where they were like, "Hey, can we mod the system?" And then they were like, "Dude, we'll send you a dev kit."
Yeah.
Like, like you don't need to mod the system. I'll send you a dev kit. They've released like dev settings. They've released ways of like modding your systems. They Microsoft already knows you're gonna do it. Does it void our warranty with you? Absolutely. In which also, if I was doing something dumb with my Xbox or anything like that, and then go, I'm just going to return it to Microsoft after I'm done if I mess up. No, I totally understand if they were to go, hey, man, that's a you problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I totally and wholeheartedly understand if they were to do that. I'd be like, oh, dang, that sucks. But
Oh no.
but I did this to me. That was my choice. Now Nintendo going, nah, we're not going to allow that. That makes me not want to Switch even more.
Yeah. I like how last week I was standing on my soapbox and talking all that smack about Nintendo.
You were on a soapbox last week? I don't remember that.
You don't?
You were on a soapbox?
Dude,
I don't remember that.
I
No,
was
that was
like-
that was a
like
very
20 feet
quick
tall up
conversation, dude. I don't remember that.
And
Was that
then-
long? Was it a long conversation?
And
Did-
how
did it
this
drag on?
news
Did it drag?
came out on Monday, and then that episode came out on Wednesday. I feel like
You were speaking to the universe? You did this.
no, it's
It's
just
your fault.
I just hope people will pay more attention to the signs that are popping up around them and like how frequently it's coming up. And
Well, I
if,
mean-
and for those who do care, or if
Nobody-
you don't care, that's,
nobody cares.
That's fine.
Nobody. People are still going to buy the Switch. They don't care. They're still going to use it. They're still
It's
going to buy it.
consumerism, you know. That's
But
that's
people
the
don't
thing.
care.
No,
No matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's the same thing that when
even if
when
people know it's not cruelty free and they lab tested it on animals, they'll still
It's-
buy it.
I mean, no matter what, it's still the same thing as if you were
And
to go
yes, you
like.
did. You
it's-
did.
but
Look
it's-
look at it. It's right there on the bottle. Tested on animals.
It's still one of those things of like no matter what, you know, it doesn't matter if they just updated the camera. I still want to buy it. Like for my phone I just bought.
Yeah.
My phone I didn't buy for. I had the last time I upgraded my phone was the 22.
Mm-hmm.
So that was three.
My
that was
current one.
your current one. So that was 3 years ago because I have the 25 now. That's a decent amount of time.
I definitely think so.
That's a decent amount of time of going like, okay, cool. I'm gonna wait until the next generation because, like for phones, there's not a whole lot. If you go year to year,
That's dumb.
that's
You do
really
that
dumb.
people do that for iPhones.
Yeah.
People will do that just
you know what?
solely for iPhones.
I talked to Justin about that, and I was like, why do you switch every year? And I go, what was the difference from this iPhone to the last iPhone?
Yeah.
And he goes, the camera is better, and this one has a fingerprint scanner. And I was like, that's it.
And you paid $800 more
You-
dollars.
like you bought it and then you bought it again. Like there was nothing different in the UI, and he's like, no, like the UI will, because you got the same UI I do now.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's taking me a while to adjust.
I don't
I don't like change. I don't.
and maybe that's me being weird, but I don't see the difference in the Switch 2 to the Switch 1. I don't see like, oh, this is why it's worth paying $500
to get another one.
to get another one, especially seeing as the first year the Switch comes out,
Yeah.
both consoles are going to be getting the same games.
What's your thought on the GPU though too? Because how they're labeling it as a mini 30 series for a console of this generation. Is it appropriate?
No, it's not. It's a mini 30.
I'm not familiar. I'm really dumb when it comes to like computer parts and stuff. I know compute.
It's a mini 30.
Uh huh. What does that mean?
It's a
I'm dumb.
so
I'm a
like
2-year-old.
okay, so you know how like they were
Spoon-feed.
so you know how they were saying, okay, the one that I gave Bryan is a 30. That means that it was 2 generations ago.
Oh well, at least it's not as outdated as Brian's last one that he had.
I know, but Bryan's original one was like a 1,000.
Yeah.
It was in the thousands. The one I just gave him was a 30 series. So that right now we're going into the 50 series.
Yeah.
So by the time the system comes out, most likely we're going to be heading towards the 60 series. So that means that already the system comes out, it's 3 years behind in graphics.
Nintendo, you suck. You guys blow.
No, and you know what would have been really interesting? I thought it would have been so interesting if they would have been like, it's a 30 inside, but a 50 in the box. Like if you were to go, boom,
Yeah.
snap it in, and
Power
then
it up more.
and
Gives
then
more
that,
juice.
and then that's what gives it more juice, and you're like, cool, this is how you get 4K. If it's in the system, it's 4K, but when it's in your hand, it's a 30. I would have been like, dude, that's sick. Okay, cool, that makes sense. Absolutely. But no, this one's like, oh, it's a 30 no matter what. Dude, I'm telling you right now, a 30 barely ran Elden Ring well.
Yeah. And
That game is going to be choppy.
Well, the thing with Elden Ring is it's actually not that stressful on anything.
And
really.
I understand that, but it ran a
But-
30
and yeah,
a 30 series
that
still ran
you're
it
seeing that.
ran it kind of shaky sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
where like pixels would break and everything. Not that it was like it looked terrible.
Not immersion breaking.
It wasn't
but
immersion breaking, but you would see broken pixels in certain areas, and you would see a little bit of slowdown when like you would get like major boss fights where like things are just getting thrown at you, and everything else. You would get like a little bit of stutter.
Mm-hmm.
If that's in my handheld, and you set up my system to play it on that, it's gonna play the same way.
They're not going to meet their price point. Their yearly price point, I think, was 11 billion or 11 million,
Something like
$14
that.
million that
You know
they're
what-
going to make in
You know
the
what
first
the worst
year.
part is? They're gonna make it
BS.
because it's Nintendo.
Yep.
Because people would,
People
when
are
it's
going to
Nintendo,
buy it and then scalp it later on. And
Oh my God,
are they
yeah.
even going to count those? I don't know.
dude. Literally, you're just gonna see Miyamoto out there just with his dick out, just
Miyamoto, get him
suck
some more
it.
games.
just suck it.
I don't know.
It's gonna be Squid Games, but for
Squid Games.
Oh, yeah,
Ooh,
dude.
I like playing games. You guys want to play a game right now?
yeah.
All right. From Business Insider,
segue.
all 18 live-action Star Wars shows and movies ranked by Rotten Tomato critics.
Okay.
So, I have the audience score and the critic score.
Okay.
I have both, and then I have 18 through 1.
There's 18.
Yes, there's 18. This is a
Okay.
list of 18. Okay.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
You already have
Let's-
9. You already have 9 off the bat,
So
and then you
we have 9. So are they also counting the animated shows? Is that what they're also counting?
live action.
Only live action.
Yes,
Okay, so
and
let's
series.
So let's get the 9. So you have the 9 is just the Skywalker saga.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we have the Obi-Wan series,
Mm-hmm.
Andor.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have
Come on.
Mandalorian.
the Mandalorian, Boba Fett,
Boba Fett.
Ahsoka Tano,
Ahsoka.
and Acolyte.
And Skeleton Crew.
Oh, and Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Is that 18? Is that all of them? I don't think that's all of them.
Oh, you actually missed, I think, 1,
Han,
2.
Solo. Which one? Solo.
Solo. Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Rogue
yeah.
One. Oh my God.
No, yeah, now you got them all.
Oh, we got 'em all?
I think you were just missing Rogue One.
Was I just missing Rogue One and Solo?
Yeah.
Okay, so those are what we're working with.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the bottom of the list.
Yes. Number 18.
Okay, what do you think?
What do you think is at the very bottom of the barrel from critics? And then we'll go into the
Critics?
audience score.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I already know what it is.
Wait, what? So what's the point of writing this down?
We're just gonna play a little game.
Yeah.
We're gonna see who
He's
gets-
like, cut this paper. We're gonna write it. He wants to flex his.
No, I just want to see. I want to see who's
nerdum.
right. I want to see who's right.
Okay.
This is a fun little game that we could play.
And then I'll get a little picture of Renee's head
Yeah.
on your head and a little score underneath.
Do you know how to do it?
I do.
If
do.
you need it, I can send you the thing.
I just need to insert a keyframe.
No,
No, sorry, that's Photoshop that I'm thinking of.
no.
I just need to throw in the photo.
No.
In the timeline.
Nope.
And then make that a different sequence.
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
I'll send you the link.
Okay, so yeah, send me the link. All right.
All right. So number 18,
Number 18.
I want Acolyte.
Ooh.
You went Acolyte?
I went Rise of Skywalker.
Renee, Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yes, that is number 18.
Really?
Yes.
Acolyte did better than Rise of Skywalker.
Yes, the
With all the hate.
Well, no,
All the
okay,
hate?
that's the critic score, and the critics were suckling the teat to help promote it.
Oh, that's
because-
right.
okay. It's good, guys. Watch it.
All right,
And
number-
yeah,
what's-
the audience score for that one, I'll tell you later.
So number 17.
Yes,
All
number 17 with the Rotten Tomato score of 54%.
All right. Oh,
Critic
you know
score,
what?
sorry, it's critic score of 54.
No, because if it's critic score, it wouldn't be that one.
For
I'm
worst
thinking-
movie?
For
I-
number 17.
Oh, 17? Oh,
Yeah.
17. Because my original thinking was that it was going to be The Last Jedi, but the critics loved Last Jedi.
Critics, movie people liked
The Last
Last
Jedi.
Jedi.
So that's why I'm thinking The Last Jedi is a little higher up. So
So we're going off of audience scores?
I have them in chronological order pertaining to
he hasn't
both
been
critic
in
score.
Is
order of the
does it
critic
have
score.
both scores in
I do have both scores, but they are literally all over the place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, so
it is crazy.
17. What do you think it is? I'm down to go Acolyte on that one because I do remember everybody hating on Acolyte.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
What
agree.
was it? What was it?
The Phantom Menace.
What?
With a 54% critic score.
Bro, Phantom Menace is sick.
A 59% for audience. Next, number 16. What do you guys think?
I mean, if we're gonna go like that, I'm gonna go Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Star Wars Clone Wars.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, let's go Attack of the Clones.
You guys got it.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones
I'm starting
at
to-
61%.
I feel like there's a pattern here.
Critic score. Audience score gave it a 56%.
Dang.
Really?
Yep. Number 15. This one is going to throw you guys.
I'm gonna go with Solo.
Han Solo. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
Han
Solo. Either
Wrong.
No.
is that one Acolyte?
What is it?
The Book of Boba with the 66 critic.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And a 49
people
audience
didn't
score.
like it.
No.
Yeah.
It was just Mandalorian 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I guess.
All right, number 14 with the score of 69. Nice.
Was it a
69.
Yep.
Can you give us a hint if it's a show or a movie?
It's a movie.
It's a
Okay,
movie.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is-
You know what? I'll
Say Solo.
I think Solo.
It's Solo.
You guys are right.
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
I like Solo for what it was.
It was.
I think Solo is a fun movie. I would have loved to have seen the actual real version of that movie.
Same.
I would
Oh
have
my
loved to
God.
have seen the movie that should have been
Yeah.
before. What was it before Ron Howard came in?
Well, there was a lot of like talks about what's going to happen after because they set up a lot of stuff at
They
the
do.
end. Yeah, the after credits with Darth Maul.
Darth
Well,
Maul.
that's what they were saying. There
Now
was
we're getting
that.
it.
Oh, well,
with-
now we're
with
getting it
Maul.
with the TV show.
Mhm.
All right, number 13 with an critic score of 78%.
Okay, 78%.
78%.
You know what?
I'm gonna say Ahsoka.
You say Ahsoka?
I say.
I'm gonna go Return of the Jedi.
Ooh.
Cool. Dang. Okay, actually, you're wrong. It's the Acolyte. It got a 78%.
You got a 78.
You know what the audience score is for that?
What?
It's less than 20. It's 19%.
Wow.
Because there is some good stuff in Acolyte.
There is good
19%
stuff in Acolyte, but
worth,
audiences
yeah.
don't understand. Those fans don't understand Star Wars.
There's some interesting things in Acolyte. There
No.
was some interesting things where you were like, oh, that we could
cool.
build. We could. You know what I attribute Acolyte, the first season of Acolyte to? I
The
contribute
only season of Acolyte.
So the only season
The
of
only.
the
Do
first
not
season. No, I'm
put
sorry.
that in the universe, please.
So I'm sorry. I contribute it to Buffy. There's a
Okay.
lot of really good. There's a lot of really good
Look.
stuff in the first season of Buffy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good stuff in the first season of Acolyte.
Yeah.
Is Buffy misguided in a lot of things that are going on? Yes.
Yeah,
is
totally.
the main villain super weak sauce that you're just like,
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
Same thing in Acolyte. Buffy got a
No,
second
not
season.
in-
No, yeah, the villain is very weak. He's a very weak villain. Like he's
Yeah,
undercooked.
Buffy's corny, like a great cult classic kind of
Yes.
corny, and Acolyte is just pushing agenda with
I-
Star Wars sprinkled on top.
I feel like if you take the motives, I feel like if you just don't
I mean, there's a
listen
reason
to
why
the,
they got fired.
if you don't listen to the director when she speaks, and you just watch
Is
her,
that sounds like a
and
bad,
you-
a bad thing.
and
Then
you
don't
just-
listen to the
and
director
you just
for
and
anything.
you just watch her art for what it is. It's an interesting story. It is really interesting. All right, number 12.
All right, number 12. What do you guys think with an critic score of 79%?
79.
Yes. Number 12.
Number 12.
Number 12.
Clones. Number 12. I'll go with Ahsoka on that.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I was
What?
gonna
Yep.
You know what? I was thinking that, but I was thinking it got an 80.
I thought it would have been different because it just came out again.
Mhm.
Like people would have like review bombed it.
It has a 66 for audience score still. All right, number 11 with an critic score of 82%. 82%.
82%.
Yes.
Wait, so the last one was Revenge of the Sith?
It was Revenge of the
Yes.
Sith.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
I'll-
this is
gonna say
Mando.
I'm gonna say Return of the Jedi.
I'm gonna say Mando.
Mando. Obi-Wan
Oh,
with a surprisingly low audience score of 61%.
Yeah, a lot of people were expecting
Huh.
more from it for some reason.
I feel like it should have
I
stayed a
still need to
movie.
see it.
It could have. It was a. It's
It-
better as a movie.
It would have been better as a movie.
I have the YouTube video already queued up for me and Christy when we're done with.
It's like
with the
cut
next
it.
two.
It's like an edit cut that you don't have to watch.
Yeah,
all
all
of
the
it.
other
There's a lot of
spiel.
fluff in that series.
All right, number 10 with an audience critic score of 83%.
Okay. Are we done with those shows? No, we still have Ahsoka. Okay.
I'll tell you how
said
many shows you have left. 1, 2, 3,
3 shows.
4. Yeah, 4 shows left.
4 shows left.
Feel like,
my God.
I feel like Mando would be in the 90s.
Mando was in the 80s.
Really?
If I
As
remember
a whole?
correctly. If you average them, because the first season was like a 90, the second season was like an 80, and then the third season was like in the 70s.
Yeah.
That's why. And then I think the fourth season you're kind of pushing it.
We're on 10, right?
Number 10 right
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I will go. You know what?
Critic score of 83.
83.
Yep.
I'll put that one for Ahsoka.
I'll say Empire.
Return of the Jedi. Close.
Return of the Jedi.
Yes,
Wow.
with an audience score of a 94%.
Okay.
All right.
Really?
Number 9.
So that's
think-
the
I
first
think-
original trilogy.
I think Rene might be in the lead right
That is
now.
that is the first original trilogy. I think that's interesting. The first
And it only breaks
I
top
knew-
10.
I knew Return of the Jedi was somewhere in there because
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi isn't.
It's not the favorited out of the original trilogy.
That's why I'm going with either Empire is number 1.
I think Empire is like top 5.
I think Empire. I think the top 5 is definitely Empire, A New Hope, Rogue One, Andor.
Do you guys want to see how wrong you are?
I'm just like throwing up names right now because that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then Skeleton Crew for like my
Oh,
top for
Skeleton
like
Crew,
the top 5. All right, number 9.
Number 9 with a critic score of 84.
All right, I'll do Mando on that one.
I'll do Skeleton Crew.
Rogue One.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 8 with the critic score of 85%.
85%.
Yes.
Last Jedi.
And you know what?
I feel like that's the average score.
The Force Awakens.
Ahsoka.
Oh,
Okay.
And-
so still haven't cracked the new trilogy yet.
All right.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, the audience score for this one was a 64.
For which one?
What was
For
the story
Ahsoka.
in Ahsoka?
Oh, the audience in Ahsoka.
It was like a Rebels
Balin.
reunion.
It was no. So it was Balin's skull. So the idea was that Balin's skull was trying to get into this other. So Balin's skull was trying to get Thrawn, and Ezra Bridger in the Rebels TV show took him to another universe where the space whales were, because the space whales go from universe to universe.
Yeah.
So Ezra took him to a different universe. Balin's skull was hired to then go get Thrawn. When they go get Thrawn, Ahsoka and Sabine get left in that alternate universe with the brother, the father, and the sister all over there, which is the Mortis things. And then Thrawn comes back over to our universe, and he's now versing the New Republic.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be the Heir to the Empire storyline
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
in the TV universe.
Okay.
But instead of using Luke Skywalker and all them, they're going to try and use Ahsoka Tano.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7 with a critic score of 90%.
90?
Force Awakens.
Andor.
You were right the first time before when you said The Mandalorian when you thought it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's
Mandalorian?
It's Mandalorian at number 7.
Okay.
Number 6 with a 91%.
Mando. Dang.
This is
really?
number 6.
90, you said 91?
Yep.
Just because I hate life. The Last Jedi.
Last
Yep.
Jedi.
Yep, you guys are right.
Yeah.
With an audience score of 41%.
Dang.
I hate you so much.
Now we're in the top 5.
Dude, Attack of the Clones. The prequel trilogy is all over the place.
Yeah.
Mind you, this is also going off the critic score.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith is 12, 16, and 17. Like, they're all at the bottom of the list.
There's a lot of conflicting scores between the critics who seem a little disconnected
Yeah.
from the series itself to the fans.
Okay, so top 5.
Top 5 with a 92%.
So what's left?
We have, I'll tell you how many TV shows
you have. So I would imagine inside the TV shows we have Andor, Skeleton Crew.
That's it.
Yeah, Andor and Skeleton Crew, and then in movies, you have A New Hope, Empire, and The Force Awakens.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Those are the only 5 that are left.
What's the percentage of the next one?
92%.
You know what? No matter what, I was not. It's very far off on this one.
Nope.
I did say that these would probably be the top 5.
Say Skeleton Crew.
Okay. And you?
Skeleton.
92% though.
92.
92. I'm gonna go with The Force Awakens.
That's a strong choice.
Skeleton Crew.
Okay, Skeleton
with
Crew.
With an audience score of 80%. Number 4.
I can see Skeleton Crew.
With a 93%.
With a 93%.
93?
At number 4.
Oh, man.
Force Awakens.
You think it's The Force
I
Awakens?
think it's Force Awakens.
I think it's A New Hope.
The Empire. At number 4.
Really?
It has,
Number 4.
Yep,
It's not top 3.
But you know, it has the highest audience score at 97%.
Yeah, because
that's everyone's favorite.
Everybody. No, that's Monica's favorite.
I'm
She's
showing
only
her
seen
that
2.
one on VHS. I told her we're not going to watch the Disney Plus one.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug in the VCR and we're going to watch it.
Dude, the only movie Monica remembers of the 3 Star Wars movies we've watched is Empire.
It's the best.
Because it's the best one.
Yeah.
Also, it's because it's the saddest one.
Yeah,
it's so sad.
Yeah.
I love you.
I know.
I know.
Monica thinks that is the baller's like phrase.
Big time.
She's like, "Oh, that is. I love that. I love it so much."
Now, number 3 with the 93.
93.
Yep.
Force Awakens.
I would go A New Hope.
Force Awakens.
Is it Force Awakens?
It's Force
Yep.
Awakens.
All right. So top 2.
Top 2.
I'm gonna say number 1 is Andor.
Okay.
Because I
Rene,
think if I remember
you wanna-
correctly,
I'm gonna do as number 2.
no, number 1.
Number
What our number 1
Number
is.
2
number
has a
1.
94% and
Number
number
one.
1 has a 97%.
I'm gonna say number 1 is New Hope.
Okay.
I say it's Andor.
It is Andor.
Okay.
Because I
Number
remember
1 is Andor with the audience score of 87 and A New Hope with an audience score of 96.
Yeah.
So A
But-
New Hope and the Empire.
But I remember an advertisement on Andor where it was like, or I think at a certain point it was like in the 100. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
at 100.
Andor is currently number 1 in critics, and honestly, it has the best
Okay.
ratio out of
Like
everything.
the closest between the audience and the.
I would say top 3 between A New Hope and The Last Jedi, and Andor is probably the top 3rd.
Oh,
Yes.
Like of the 3.
and you know what? It very well deserves it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
very well deserves it. It was a hell of a good show.
And it also shares an audience score with Rogue One at 87% as well.
You know what? And the thing I love here is the problem I have with Andor. There's only one problem I have with Andor.
The only 2 that actually have the same
Audience score.
audience score, and they're related to one another. Like
Oh, Rogue One and
and
Andor.
Andor. Yeah.
The only thing I
It's a
have to
great
say
story.
is that watching Andor made me want to watch Rogue One, and then that put me down a slippery slope
Well, I guess we can transition into a quick review of the season.
of the whole season. You guys haven't really seen it.
I haven't. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like a quick,
I haven't seen
like,
any of
what
it.
your main thoughts are.
So
'cause
I-
just to have at least we've said
Yeah.
something about it.
For Andor, I really liked it. Like I said, the only problem I had with it is that it sent me down a slippery slope of I watched Andor, which then ends with the beginning of Rogue One.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, I really want to watch Rogue One. So then I started watching Rogue One. Then I got to the end of Rogue One and I was like, dang, I really want to watch the episode 4.
Yeah.
Then I saw episode 4 and I was like, and then now I'm like going down this thing of,
Yeah. Every
Now I
after
guess
every
I'm-
episode, you're watching Rogue One.
well, no, because like now it sent me down this road of like, well, now I have to finish the series.
Yeah.
Like now I have to watch all of the Star Wars
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
But Andor does such a great job at setting up the rebellion, setting up what was going on. It shows the darker side of the rebellion as well, which isn't really talked about a lot inside of these movies. Like in the live actions where it was a lot of, oh, cool. Yeah, it's a rebellion, but what exactly did the Empire truly do that was so evil?
Yeah.
You know, we know that they're the bad guys. We know, these are our Nazis. They did the Holocaust. What is the Empire doing? That is so bad. And it was the assassination on Gorman. I mean, the genocide on Gorman. It's the genocide that they committed on Jeddah. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that they're doing that is just super evil. Not only that, but then they also have like Operation Cinder, where like they destroyed an entire Imperial like facility and stuff. So, which they mentioned in Mandalorian, and then it was in Battlefront 2.
Is that in the second season?
In the second season,
with what's his name? I forget the actor. Or
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
When Bill Burr and them are talking, they're talking about Operation Cinder. That was a version of the Death Star. But it was like with multiple satellites that was then like controlling that, but it wouldn't blow up a planet. It would just like destroy a city. It's like a giant laser that would just destroy a city.
I think I saw a YouTube short of it.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
So, but Operation Cinder would basically just destroy the surface of the planet, and then you would have to go in and, you know, redevelop it. Yeah. That ended up ending inside of Battlefront 2. You dealt with it there. But you can see that they were developing all these super weapons of like, how exactly do we put people under our thumb? Yeah. And that is a huge thing of people just how, like, what happens to a society when they are under someone's thumb? And it keeps on pushing that boundary, and it's showing that they are built. Rebellion is built on hope. It's a lot of people hoping, and especially even the main characters. Luthen, Skarsgård's character, he has some great speeches in the show where he goes, "I've given everything." He goes, "Do you know what it feels like to work for a sunrise that I know I will never get to experience?" And you're like, dude, oh my God. Like, that is insane.
That's deep.
Yeah.
It's like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like, he's talking, and he's like, I know that I will never get to see the rebellion win. But while I'm here, I'm going to go down swinging. And it's so cool to see. It's such a great thing. And you see the destruction of the Empire is the fact that there is too much regulations. So basically, the way that the way that Jyn Erso's identity gets revealed is because the main character, the main baddie in the show, she gets forwarded basically a data pad that she wasn't supposed to get.
Oh shit!
And she keeps it and puts it on her data pad so that way she can then look for Access, which is their version, which is their like rebel liaison, which is Skarsgård's character.
Yeah.
So she's looking for him, but the thing is that she was just skimming over things. So like you can like she's reading over it and she's like, Gale Erso, they're mining for this, they're doing this, they're making they're making this, and she's not putting all the pieces together. But on her computer, she has everything. She has the entire Death Star like background on it. She just doesn't know what she has because it's all in pieces. And then the minute that the rebels are able to get on the computer, they're able to kind of put things together of like, so this is what happened on Ferrix. This is what happened on Gorman. This is what's happening over here. And the reason why they're committing all these atrocities is to mine and gain materials and fuel to build the Death Star. And it's like,
that's the connection. Yeah.
And that's our connection. Okay, all of these things for the last 18 years have all to build towards the Death Star.
So now we have like a more drive for Andor to get the plans to destroy the Death Star.
Not only that, but also it's interesting because it does play really well because when you watch Rogue One, because I just rewatched it today,
Oh yeah, I saw you watching it at the office.
I was watching it while I was working.
Yeah, I could hear it.
Could you hear it?
I could. It was loud enough where I could hear
like stuff like shooting.
Yeah, I'm like, oh damn! I don't know if you realize how loud he has it.
I was working. I was getting stuff done.
Yeah.
I was getting stuff done. Anyway, the thing that's interesting though is because it always did bother me in the very beginning of Rogue One. Cassian hears Galen Erso's name and immediately reacts to it. And you're kind of like, oh, so he's heard his name before. It's because in the Andor show, he hears a rumor about Galen Erso and the rebellion won't act on it because they don't have enough information. So this is his second person confirming the story. That's why he's so excited. Because it's the second person. This is viable intel now. Now we know this is viable intel. Because it's the second person that said that they're making a super weapon. Second person to mention Galen Erso. And like now we can actually push forward. And And so like it really does amplify Rogue One, which is so weird because the best things in Star Wars right now have only been amplifying Rogue One. Like if you've ever read the pre-Rogue One novel, so good. It's such a good novel because it talks about the Emperor taking over the Jedi Temple. It talks about how Krennic found Galen Erso, the fact that Galen Erso is a humanitarian who thought the Empire was for like peace.
And are all these novels on Audible by any
They're on
chance?
Audible. Yeah, that's how and it's all about
so our audience can find them on Audible?
Oh yeah, you could definitely find them on Audible. And it's called Catalyst. It's called Catalyst, a story was a Rogue One story.
I have like 5 credits, so I'm going to get all these.
Yeah, dude, it's so good because in that book it talks about Krennic befriending Galen and Galen thinking of, well, with all of these like kyber crystals that the Jedi left, what can we use them for? And he starts using them for reusable energy. And he essentially says one kyber crystal they're
batteries.
They're batteries. But the idea is if you could do it correctly, this could power a city. It's free.
Just like a few of them.
Like a few of them could power an entire city.
Wow. So
if we can just put these in certain areas, we can just give people free energy. And we could actually give energy to the outskirts, and we could civilize them, and we can bring them in out of the reach of the Empire, and we can bring technology to them because then they would be able to have free energy, and we can then give them electricity and stuff like that. And he's so excited, but Krennic sees it as okay. Well, if a little tiny one will fuel a city, what if we got a real big one? And then that's when they started figuring out, this is a super weapon. And then that's when you can kind of hear Galen like talking about it and him having this whole thing of that's why he escapes because it
took 18 years to build the Death Star.
Yeah, it takes 18 years.
And it was only operational.
Well, it's like 25. No, it's 18. Yeah, because Luke is born right at the end of the Clone Wars. So yeah, so it would have been like 18 years.
And it only lived for
like a year. It only lives for
I mean like after displaying its destructive force.
Yeah.
Because Alderaan was its first target. It was its test target.
No, Alderaan is not its test target. Remember, Jeddah and Scarifar.
But the
first time that it blows up a planet is Alderaan. Yes, but it's the two test sites. One was Jeddah. The second one was Scarif.
Can we count those then?
Yeah, because they even say that we need to test its okay.
So it's around longer than I thought it was.
It's probably around longer for like a month longer. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, the
second one didn't even get off the ground.
Yeah. Hey man, it was operational. Sure. It was half open, but it was operational. But anyway, yeah, it's super cool. Also, them like building Yavin, which is so awesome. Like them because they actually do find the planet here. You start seeing them moving stuff in, everything else. They're starting to move people from Dantooine to Yavin, which, if anybody knows Star Wars lore, that's where the Rebel base was on Dantooine.
Yes.
Because it
was too far out of its reach to do it as a target. Too barren of a planet.
Well, no, the other reason that we know that is because when Leia is being threatened by Tarkin in the first movie in 4, he asks, "Where is the Rebel forces?" She doesn't want to answer, and then she goes, "It's on Dantooine," and he goes, "Okay, cool. We'll blow them up next. Let's go ahead and destroy Alderaan."
Yeah.
And then he blows up Alderaan. Then they go to Dantooine, and they were like, Dantooine was a Rebel base, but it's not there anymore. And they had already
lied to us.
Yeah, they had already moved to Yavin at that point.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It was a great show. If you love Star Wars lore, it's perfect for you.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. Chrissy made an astute observation that they don't do those silent long shots anymore in movies. Like she's like it's a lost art form because you don't really you see that.
They're talking about the like the two sun scene.
That's actually where
the two sun scenes.
No dialogue, nothing, and it's there for like less than 15
Symbolism.
seconds. Yeah. And I told her, can you imagine how hot it is with two suns?
Right.
I do love those scenes because there's so much said with nothing being said. Like, because during that scene, it's Luke is remembering his aunt and uncle, and he's kind of, and he's dealing with the loss of them, but he's also looking into the horizon of, well, what can be after this?
A new hope.
And it ends up becoming a new hope. Yeah, it's really cool. It's great symbolism.
Yeah.
Lucas is known for that, and I love it.
Yeah.
So great. Anything else?
Well,
Or
the
are we
last
done?
one, last but definitely not least. Say his name, and he appears.
Oh yeah, that's right, Joe Henry.
Joe
Who
Henry.
you may ask? Joe Henry. Joe Henry, the man who just signed, I guess he didn't sign a new contract.
So he signed a contract for appearing in a WWE/NXT event that will not only puts up the NXT title, but his TNA World Championship title as well too. So both champions are going to be fighting each other, and then whoever wins gains the other champion's title.
Nice.
and you
so-
said that this is like the first time.
This is the
they've-
first time that WWE is doing something like this. I mean, they've always had they're partners with TNA, and they're also partners with New Japan as well too.
Mhm.
So, but this is the first time they're airing something that's cross promotion.
That's
Something,
great.
yeah. So this is really interesting, and it's really it's something
I'll
new
watch it.
because we were talking about it when we were going to the store to grab our drinks, and I was saying that because you said that the ratings went up, and like because every time Joe Hendry goes on the show of NXT, ratings keep going up and up. So now that for the next this happens in 2 weeks upon recording, when the main event happens, they're going to be hyping it the whole time. So both viewerships are going to go up.
So
Yeah,
so when is Joe Henry gonna hold the WWE championship?
that depends when he's done with his contract with TNA. Right now, he has a solid contract because he's champion right now. So depending on what they're doing, like if he loses his title, then maybe that's something that like they'll write in. Where like, okay, he just leaves TNA after that and goes back, just goes into NXT and stuff.
What Now my question is that do you think he's just a gimmick? Like is this going to be like a short-lived?
so-
I feel like it's a meme that's evolving
It's-
into stardom.
Well, that's what I mean though. Is that like because there are sometimes when there's wrestlers and there's sometimes like they just have like a gimmick that everybody thinks is
He's-
funny right now and then
with
2-3 months it's gonna
with
be
the
gone.
whole Cody Rhodes finishing his story now, they kind of do need another wrestling gimmick
Mhm.
that's like universally known. And his song is so memeable now.
It is.
And just his appearance is so memeable in general that I think WWE obviously knows that he has some sort of hotness to it that that everyone knows of him. If you know wrestling, you know Joe Hendry.
Yeah, you've
Or-
seen it
yeah.
or you've heard of it.
You've heard of it, or if
you've
you
seen his
have a
face.
friend,
What's
you've
his name acknowledged it when he entered the ring. You know, he was. Oh my gosh.
Who?
Randy
Or
Orton?
Randy Orton.
Oh,
yeah,
at
Randy
WrestleMania
Orton.
41,
Was,
yeah.
Yeah, he was saying, he felt a little. He didn't know who this guy was until he heard the audience start singing. He was like, "All right, you know what? I actually got behind it, and I joined in."
The what's it called? The one that you posted on the chat. Did that happen at the last WrestleMania where where Randy Orton is just like just pile driving people into the ground?
Oh no, that was that was last week's not main event, but what is it? Premium live event, Backlash.
Oh.
That was after WrestleMania, and it was just so funny because it also symbolized 25 years of John Cena versus Randy Orton.
Nice.
Since their rivalry has started, it's been 25 years.
That's pretty sick.
And it was also at Randy Orton's hometown near St. Louis. So there's a lot of things happening.
A lot of
you know.
levels. A lot of
So
layers.
instead of having him win the title, they just have him have that funny moment where he just RKOs everyone that just comes in the ring because it's like nothing's working out in his favor. He's like, I just want the title. And the general manager's like, calm down. He's like, don't tell me. Boom. And
Yeah.
and the other guy's like, you
see it
can't
in the
do
chat?
that. Yeah, he's like, you can't do that. But boom.
Boom.
He's
And,
like,
and then people just start
going down.
walking in and he starts doing it one at a time.
It's like the video of the guy just slapping
Oh,
everyone,
yeah.
and they're all in a row.
Boom. Boom. Yeah. No, super great. But for Joe Hendry, WWE's aware that there is viewership. Whenever he's on, people will watch. So,
That's good.
yeah.
I am wondering what the next story is going to be. Like right now we're following John Cena
yeah.
in the WWE. His story is, what do you think of it right now?
Right now, it's interesting because he's still hanging on to the whole, I was there for you guys, but you guys never there for me. He's still kind of doing that. And then now he's promoting like he is the greatest champion of all time. And he's going to leave because his retirement ends soon. he goes, he's gonna leave and take that title with him when he retires.
Yeah, that title goes with me. So even if you were to get it next, it wouldn't be the same title.
It wouldn't be the same title. It'll be a new title that WWE has to come up with and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why everyone's kind of like, okay, you know, Randy had his shot with him.
Petty.
Yeah. And then I think they're kind of leading up to CM Punk taking him on next. Maybe.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Seth Rollins' new his new crew.
His new crew with Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman, which is pretty interesting so far. It's been fun with that whole thing, but right now, like, Seth Rollins is kind of doing like this whole thing where he's like a heel, but he's basically trying to be very erratic when it comes to the WWE. You know, he's like, you know, we got to worry about us because these old timers are coming in and trying to steal our spotlight. So it's funny. So it's pretty interesting so far. I like where they're going with Seth Rollins. But I'm waiting for Cody Rhodes to come back, obviously, but he's taking a break for, you know, being a champion for a whole year.
Well, yeah, he's on the road. Makes sense. He's doing a road show.
Yeah. So it makes sense. Take a break, you know. So
I feel like that's what a lot of wrestlers don't do is they don't take time of like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not going to jump straight into the next story. A little R&R. I mean, a lot of the things they do is so strenuous on their bodies, man. I can only imagine, you know, the amount of like tendons that they've all torn, the you know, how bad their knees are, everything else.
Well, yeah, because Randy Orton has said in the past where he's living in the new Paul Levinstein era of wrestling compared to how Vince McMahon had it. He said Vince McMahon was basically, you are wrestling 365 days.
It does not
when you start, it does not stop. He goes, you are committed to this all year around. And Randy said, I've had to miss countless birthdays, weddings. I've had to miss funerals and stuff because I was so committed into what I had to do, and I had to make sure
now you can just take off.
So he goes, what's great about it is that Paul is a family man himself, so he understands the like time you need with your family. So that's what they do now is that when Christmas time comes around, they record 2 shows. So that way, you know, when Christmas Eve happens, they don't have if their scheduling happens in a week of Christmas Eve, Paul makes sure that everyone has Christmas off. They just play the pre-recorded show that they did like a while back and stuff.
That's good.
So, that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, these wrestlers, they
kind of
need
like what we do.
Yeah, we do that too. Yeah, we'll record like 3 or 4 episodes.
Mainly the holiday one.
During the holidays to give ourselves
take a month off.
Yeah, to give ourselves some time, which is always really fun because we do it in the beginning of the month, and then by the end of the month, when we see things coming out, we're like, oh, I didn't remember doing that.
Right? We're wearing the same thing.
Yeah, we're all. If you notice that we're all wearing the same thing for multiple episodes, that was a long night. Yeah. It was a long night.
That was a long Friday.
Yeah, that was a really long Friday night. I think that's it, right?
That's
it.
Did we not have a main? We didn't have a main story.
We didn't really, but I feel like Andor was a good.
Andor was a.
It was like a sub main topic of the comic strips, and also Superman. I feel like
Superman
they were
too.
segments long enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
tangented on those too. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Well,
if anything, we'll mention we did see Final Destination. If anything, we'll just talk about it next week.
Yeah, we can talk about it next week.
Yeah.
I mean,
because we're gonna hit 2 hours.
Yeah. If you guys like Final Destination movies, go see it.
Yeah,
that's the easiest way I could put that.
It's a fun one. It's a fun movie.
And nothing I could say right now would be anything that I could like really like promote it. Just if you enjoy Final Destination movies, you
if you're interested or intrigued by it, go see it. Just go see it.
Yeah, just go see it. It's a fun movie. Would you see? Now my question is, would you see it in IMAX or would you see it like matinee?
You can see it in 40X.
You can't see it in 40X.
Yeah.
Would you see it in 40X?
Yeah, you can see, I would see it in 40X.
I would see it in 40X.
How much are those tickets for 40X?
Oh, I think those are like 30 or 40.
30 or 40, 35 to 40.
The only thing that's ever made me think about getting a Regal's version of the stubs is because their version of the top one for stub will give you 40X for part of their stubs.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it says you can use any of them. So you can do 3D, 40X, and IMAX. And Dolby Digital. So you get all of that with Regals.
Is it time you guys like abandon AMC and go to Regal?
I mean, we could.
I mean, we did see a movie in Regal. It was the Top Gun Maverick.
The only problem with Regals is there's not that many of them.
Yeah, we had to drive to LA.
Because we had to drive to LA for that one. The other Regal that is close by is all the way in like Alhambra area. That's you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's like the weird thing of like trying to find a Regal. AMC's are just easier to find.
Yeah, they're more commercial over here.
Yeah. Darn. But all right, guys, that looks like it's gonna be the episode.
Yeah.
All right. Once again, find us on all of our social medias. Go ahead and like, subscribe, share it with a friend.
Yeah.
What was it? Once again, you can find us on YouTube, Keeping Up with the Nerds. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and x.com. You can find us on all of our social. You can find us on all audio platforms for podcasts, Podbean, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. Once again, share it, like it. Go check out some of the other videos. Our interviews with all of our friends from Santa Fe Art Fest are all out now.
Yep.
So if you guys want, go check them out. Go enjoy them. It was one hell of a great time. Great amount of people. Our first reaction video for Peacemaker trailer. This is the first time we're doing a reaction video. Go check that out. It's about it's about 18 minutes long. 18. We went through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Check it out. Let us know if you like those kinds of things. Do you think
if you guys want us to do it to a show? We'll
we were talking about that. If you guys like the interviews,
tweak the editing of it.
Yeah,
we have to cut it down.
Yeah, the only thing that
make it look better.
Yeah,
too.
we just. It was an idea.
It was an idea. It was a spur of the moment. If you saw the episode,
it was a test.
You can literally hear us in the episode going like, we should try that.
Yeah.
And we tried it. Go check it out. If you like it, let us know, man.
Yeah.
And we're more than willing to do more of them. If you guys want us to watch TV together, I mean, that's one way to get Bryan to watch Gurren Lagann.
That's true.
Yeah.
We could sit him down and make him watch it.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
That would be one way of doing it.
I like that.
But yeah, so
get him to finally watch stuff.
Get him to finally watch things.
I need to watch things.
He's gonna tell Andy, I gotta be there until 2. I gotta watch a movie. Like
someone paid $20 for us to watch a movie.
I gotta watch Cheaper by the Dozen again.
Right.
We can have MJ in here with us. She'll be sleeping.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, until Bryan yells, or one of us do. Anyway, what was it? This is the last week without Bryan. Bryan will be back next
Bryan
week.
will return.
Bryan will return.
In issue 249.
But yeah, so
just in time, right before year 5.
Yeah, just before
he will
year
dye
5.
His hair. We have it all scheduled.
Yes,
so.
for anybody that is bringing it up in the comments or talking about it, yes, we did not forget. Bryan is going to dye his hair.
We gotta align it with his schedule and Mandy's schedule because Mandy's the one that's gonna be doing it.
Yeah, so we have we have to figure out and we have to coordinate with both of those people now because Bryan is trying to schedule it in to his life.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out.
Show up to work with blonde hair.
Yeah, what a weirdo.
Well, Mandy says with his hair we can do it on the same day. Oh. We can technically do it on the same day. We just got to make sure his hair is dry.
Yeah.
Before we dye it.
Dude, it's going to be a long 4 hours.
Yeah. It's going to be a video. It might be a video.
Ooh. Yeah, we can do a short. We can do a small video of it. Yeah. I've done one of those before.
A good 2-minute video of the process and us ripping on Bryan and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be screaming.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. All right, we're gonna go ahead and close this episode out. This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 248. My name is Nick Valero.
Rene.
I'm Sean.
We'll see y'all next.